Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. Please like and subscribe and don't forget to jab that notifications bell for all my latest uploads. Today we've got a fight discussion on the upcoming heavyweight clash between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I'm joined as always by Alex and Damien, and we will go through the points that we think are going to be very important when it comes to that fight. Also, from our last discussion, first of all we'll go over our predictions and how we got on in those fights. So the last fight discussion we discussed Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G 2, and the result of that of course was Canelo majority points win, 115 to 113, 115 to 113 and 114 draw, hence why the majority points win in Canelo's favour. When it came to their gloves, Canelo was wearing, well actually it was hard to tell what he was wearing because he got the Canelo Alvarez logo on the back. Possibly winning gloves or Everlast I would have said, but I can't be certain. And then Triple G, he was wearing Grant's. Our predictions, Damien, you got it as being Triple G stops Canelo round 7.
Yes, miles off. I thought he'd blast him out and prove a point, and didn't at all.
Yeah,
nowhere near.
Alex, Triple G round 12 TKO.
Didn't happen, did it?
Didn't happen.
No.
Didn't happen. Same here. Mine was Triple G stops Canelo round 11, and I think we was all hoping that the fact that Canelo had been out for the sort of the drugs test, I think a lot of people out there wanted to see that sort of redemption, and we just didn't get it. I did think that Canelo did better in that fight than he did in the first fight, and I still think it was a cracking fight, and I certainly would pay for number 3. I'm not certain whether or not Triple G will want to fight in the same place, but again, if there was a third match, I think it'd be great. But yeah, we was wrong. All of us was wrong. I think it was a case of hearts trying to rule our heads because we did want the good guy to beat the bad guy.
But I think as well though, logic would have dictated that Golovkin would have won that second fight.
Yeah,
because he should have been on top, really, shouldn't he?
Yeah. But I mean, the first fight, Triple G's team was saying that Canelo sort of run. Canelo didn't run this time, did he?
No, he stood his ground.
He stood his ground. Nobody really expected that.
Really, I thought. Really
well. I wasn't that bothered with the result. If it had been a draw, I wouldn't have been that bothered, and if Triple G had got it by a couple of rounds, again, I wouldn't have been phased either way. The people that were saying it was a robbery, I didn't see that it was a robbery.
No,
I didn't see that it was a robbery. You know, it was a closer fight than the first fight.
Yeah, it was.
The first fight was a draw. So then we moved on to Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin. This was AJ won 7th round KO. He wore a pair of lovely white, red and blue Grants. Not his normal rival gloves, which I was a bit surprised at. So I don't know whether in his next fight he'll be back to his rivals or whether he'll be wearing his Grants. But yeah, that was a bit of a surprise when he walked in. And Povetkin, he was wearing black rival gloves. In terms of predictions, Alex, Joshua to win round 8 to 9, not far off. I was KO 8. Damien was the closest, stoppage between 6 and 8, which wasn't as specific as our prediction.
No, but he's
7's in between 6 and 8.
Yeah, he's spot on, really.
Yeah, he's spot on. But he spread himself a little bit wider than me and Alex. But yeah, so credit where credit's due, Damien. You did get that.
It could have. It was that general feeling. We all had the same kind of feeling. It was going to be a Joshua stoppage later on than earlier on.
I think it was all about how he decided to fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. I will say though that it showed frailty in Joshua. I thought since he's kind of really sort of been more recognised. I think that was one of his worst performances for quite a while.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Was that not Povetkin? Because Povetkin's a good boxer.
Povetkin, he's good, but he's a 39-year-old man, and Klitschko fought him. He was a 41 or whatever year old man. Joshua's taking out these guys when they're 5-10 years past the prime. And he should be doing what he's doing to them. The fact that Povetkin got to him the way he did in the first round and broke his nose and bruised his nose up, I think Joshua's being exposed for having frailties. And I think in the next couple of fights, depends who it is, I think Joshua's going to go.
Do you?
Yes.
I thought his tactic of jabbing to the body, Joshua's jabbing to body a hell of a lot more than he normally does, trying to unsettle really. But then, of course, in round 7, when it came to lowering the boom,
he's holding his jab hand very low.
He was.
Rather than being like a nice high guard, you think after what happened in the first round, you would. But he almost dropped his guard as if he was inviting him in to then counter, which I think pretty much set up the knockout. To be honest,
I think it's Joshua's sort of fluidity, which I'm concerned with. Like he still seems quite stiff when he's boxing, if you know what I mean. But apart from that, like I say, I think he knows he's got the power.
Yeah, he's a great big powerful.
He relies on that quite a bit.
He does. But I think that's finesse side. I think if they come April, depends what happens with Dillian White and Chisora and a few of the different fights. I think if Joshua fought Dillian White again, that is a lot closer. I think Joshua's better than their last fight. But I think Dillian White's a lot better than when they fought. I think that'd be a really good contest now.
Yeah, definitely. We'll move on to the last one: George Groves versus Callum Smith. This was the final of the World Series boxing. Callum Smith won 7th round stoppage. George Groves was wearing Grant. Callum Smith was wearing Grant as well. For this one, Damien, as I remember, it was Groves by a mile, stops him in 5. As I don't want to quote you, but he's going to get smashed. There was a lot of smashing going on.
There was a lot of smashing. I think all my predictions, it was all about smashing.
Yes, it was.
People were getting done in, and I got done in. I was nowhere near.
Yeah, this one, Callum Smith was the one doing the smashing.
He was fantastic. I'll point that out. I completely underestimated Callum Smith. And I don't think Groves is a shot fighter, but Callum Smith made him look a different level. He was fantastic.
And Callum Smith is massive at the weight.
He is. He's
a tall guy and so long. Alex, you'd got Groves on points.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said to you after the fight, like, I did see something in Callum Smith which made me think, he might have this, but I thought Groves' experience would get him through, because Callum hasn't had a lot of sort of high caliber fights, has he really? So I did. To be fair, I did favour Groves slightly, but I thought Smith was great on the night. Really good.
Yeah, I did nail my colours to the mast in Callum Smith. I did say on points. So for that one, I was the closest, which doesn't happen very often. So I will take that. Now on to the big fight: Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. We're going to discuss Tyson Fury first of all, and our thoughts on how he's sort of going into the fight. Alex, Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I think he's looking great. I've seen some of his training footage. He's looking really sharp. And I think mentally he's in a really good place as well. I saw him on the Joe Rogan Experience not too long ago. I watched that all the time.
Yeah, it was good. That was.
It's a good watch. He came across really, really well. I thought. I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Actually, I think he's clearly training well. He's eating well. His mind's in the right place. I think he's going to go into this in the perfect way he can. Yeah,
and the gloves are off was entertaining as well.
Yeah.
At the table, that was very good.
Yeah.
Damien, Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I've been a fan of his for some time, and sort of got ridiculed when I really believed that he would beat Klitschko, and sort of laughed at for that prediction, and he did it. I know Fury's resume of who he's fought, other than Klitschko, there's not too many big names out there, so you're thinking, well, is he really good enough to take this challenge on? Maybe he needed another 2, 3, 4 fights before he steps up for Wilder. I think he fights accordingly. If he's got someone in the ring that he's far more advanced at, he plays around a bit, and we saw that in his first comeback fight with Safari. He's way better than that, but he sort of played to the crowd and messed about a bit and wasn't as good. Again, with Pianetta, he did what he had to do. He raised the game. It was a tougher challenge, but he still made him look daft. Yeah. So I think again
he'll raise again.
Like he did with Klitschko, and I think there's every chance, because obviously we know who Wilder is and what he's capable of. But he's mentally in a very good place, physically in a very good place. I expect him to be coming in, maybe not far above 18 stone, not far off the weight that he fought Klitschko at. Looking fluid, looking sharp, looking awkward, and doing what he needs to do to get the job done.
Yeah, and 18 stone, 6'9", long as could probably jab that camera from here, you know, and very, very awkward. So it's one of them. I think he's not as elusive as he thinks he is. I know there was talk of. I think in the last fight he was trying to do an impression of Muhammad Ali up in the corner.
He's holding the ropes,
when he was holding the ropes, and he was talking about putting on a display like Sugar Ray Leonard. He's nowhere near as good defensively as them two guys. And I just with Deontay, who he's only got to hit him once. I think there's frailties in Tyson Fury. He was knocked down, of course, by Cunningham, who was cruiserweight champion. So a much smaller guy. So we'll see there. What about Deontay Wilder? What do you reckon, Alex?
Well, obviously he's got the power, hasn't he?
He's got the power.
He's got the power. I mean, I've seen some of his recent training footage as well, which BT Sport released, and they've made a bit of a mockery of it actually, with sort of videos in between the training of Fury sort of laughing at it.
Right. Okay.
He does look. You know, he's obviously good because he's the world heavyweight champion, but he looks a bit ridiculous in the training footage. Whether he's doing it on purpose to sort of give a sort of a false sense of security to Fury, but I personally don't see much skill in Wilder. I think people go in with that sort of Mike Tyson mentality of, you know, they've already lost before they go in because they're already scared of the power. But you don't really get that with Fury, do you? He's confident with everyone he fights. But you know, he is who he is, and he's got what he's got. But that's about it, really, as far as I'm concerned.
Damien?
Yeah, I think one of the videos, whether you saw it or not, where they had, I think it was Malik Scott was training with him, and he was trying to be Fury, and just being awkward. And Wilder, did you see the bit where he spun?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
about. Like, what he? So that's got to be something that's going to the Fury camp's going to watch and go. You know, he's not going to do that in the fight, is he?
No.
And like to try and get near him to do a 360 and to get it's ridiculous. So it's just throwing them off the mark. Technically, Wilder isn't as good as Fury. We know he's got the power, but fight weights I think is really important here. And even though Fury's coming down with his diet control and training, he's looking at 18 stone. He's still probably going to have about 3 stone on Wilder on the night. Wilder's even at 6'7", fighting at about 15.5 stone, 15.5, 16 tops. So when you got 2.5, 3 stone, Fury, if he wants to stand long and let Wilder swing, and you get inside him and lean on a guy, and I know the training that we've done, some of the hardest times is actually not when you're getting hit. You got someone on you, and as fast as you're trying to get away, they're pressing you. Just the energy to get them off, let alone hit them. It's so draining, and you've been chased around a ring when someone's leaning on you. So you got a man that's 3 stone heavier than you, tying you up and holding you. 3 or 4 rounds of that, I'm like, I've had enough. So maybe he'll do that. He'll make it dirty early, and then later on, then step off a bit when he's tired, and then do his work. Wilder's got that one punch finish where it can all go horribly wrong, and if Fury wants to carry this to points. 12 rounds is a long time to try and dodge that.
I mean, they're both vulnerable.
Yeah,
they both can be wobbled.
They both are.
Yeah, so that's like adds to the mix as well. It's not like one's got a cast iron chin. They've both got their vulnerabilities. Do you think he'll get the decision out in America? I know that he went to Germany and got the decision, but
yes, if he can do it against Klitschko in Germany, he can go to America against Wilder and get a decision.
And I think the way he fights as well, like he tries to embarrass you. So if it looks like he's embarrassing Wilder, they wouldn't give him the decision to him, would they? If it looked like he'd outboxed him completely.
I just wonder.
I think America's a different scene for the old.
Years and years ago. I mean, if you remember back to Robin Reed versus Sven Otka. Oh yes. When Robin Reed got warned for punching Sven Otka by the worst referee that I have ever seen. You know, you couldn't go to Germany unless you knocked him out. You wasn't going to get anything. No. And I was surprised when he got the decision in Germany. Regardless of how it went in the fight, I still thought that they might still find a way.
Yeah.
Well, fair play to the Germans. But in terms of this fight, the world WBC heavyweight champion, if it's a close fight, does Fury get that decision in America? Given we've discussed about sort of the Canelo fights and some controversial scoring going on.
First Lewis Holyfield.
But Wilder isn't as big a draw as Canelo. Like he's like no one really knows Wilder that much. Like he's not that popular, is he?
No.
So I think personally I think it's fairly even in terms of fair play.
So predictions wise,
I think I'd give it. I wasn't too sure a couple of months ago, but I'm thinking Fury. I'm gonna say 9th round knockout.
Go on. Yeah. Damien?
I've got to vote with my heart because I want Fury to win.
Yeah.
And I want it to be. I don't, for some reason, I don't know why, I don't see Fury stopping Wilder. Even though the recent fights, and you watch, Wilder's very vulnerable, and Molina and a few other different people, Washington and Ortiz, they've all rocked him. Dupas, the French fellow.
Yeah.
They've all got to given him big black eyes and rocked him around the place. Whatever.
Yeah.
So Fury can definitely. He's not a one punch finisher, but he's cumulative. He's a big fella, and he can beat them up. But I think he won't try for that. Because I think in the desperation of actually trying to put it on Wilder, he's just going to throw a big one back and then could catch him. So I think he's going to be applied pressure and be more cautious. So I think it's a points for Fury.
Points for Fury.
Yeah.
Initially, I just thought that Fury was just too big, weight wise and obviously height wise, and he's just so long. So for a long time, I did think Tyson Fury. But then when I saw Tyson Fury getting sort of hit by these guys in these first two fights back that really are nowhere near the standard of Wilder, and then you've got Wilder plus power. So I'm going to go with Wilder by KO in number 9. That's what I think. So we're a bit split over here as to what we think, but that's the great thing about the fight.
I think that's just touching on Wilder's last fight with Louis Ortiz.
Yeah.
He's a really technical boxer, isn't he, Ortiz? And he was, if that bell hadn't rang in that one, I can't remember what round it was. He'd have had Wilder.
6 or 7 or something like that.
And obviously Fury's, he's bigger, and like Damien says, he's not a really heavy hitter, but like a cumulative with that size as well. And because Wilder can be hit and he can be hurt as well, and outboxed as well. So
and also the fact that Ortiz, he was old. We've touched on that before. And Fury is a young man. He's in his prime, and when he makes a convincing story for like a convincing case for himself when you listen to Tyson Fury, and I totally want him to win, 100% want him to win. But I just think that was big bombs. Everyone thinks he's wild and reckless, Wilder, but he just manages to catch these people. Everybody that's got in with him, he just gets them out there.
At some point,
so I think that power will catch up with Tyson Fury at some point, and I reckon in round 9 it'll be closing of the show. So really looking forward to that fight. Thanks to the guys for sort of joining me tonight for that discussion. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel, and I shall speak to you soon.